A violent confrontation that sparked outrage and calls for a CCSD police officer to be fired. Tonight, we have learned that will not happen. CCSD says he will be keeping his job.
So you may remember the incident in question happened back in February right outside of Durango High School. For months, Fox 5 and our attorneys have been pushing the district for answers and to look at the officer's body camera video. CCSD now telling us their investigation is over.
He said, "Come here, you jaywalked across the street."
That is what Durango High student Dion Wallace told Fox 5 back in February about what sparked the violent incident outside his high school. Dion and his friend Jacory Taylor say they were handcuffed when a third friend tried to record video on his phone. The officer tried to stop him.
The cop grabbed him by his neck, threw him on the floor, put his knee, put him in cuffs.
Fox 5 spoke to Jacory's mom right after video of the incident went viral.
Black boys walking, minding their business, and they assumed that these kids were up to trouble. And then even when you realize that they weren't up to trouble, you still attack them for recording. So I definitely think this has something to do with a black situation. I definitely do.
All three boys are now being represented by ACLU attorneys. The ACLU telling Fox 5, quote, hearing that CCSD has closed its investigation into its officers' misconduct without requesting an interview with our clients raises serious questions about the district's actual willingness to hold its officers accountable. As shown on the cell phone video, a school district employee attacked and injured our clients while screaming vulgarities at other students nearby. If CCSD has decided to keep such an officer on its staff, potentially endangering other students, the public has a right to know why. And in a statement about its use of force policy, CCSD told Fox 5, quote, upon review of the policy with the newly created community committee, it was determined that the policy follows the objective reasonableness standard established by the United States Supreme Court.